What's going on, ladies and gentlemen and ladies? Let me know how you like the new intro. I love it. I was almost distracted by watching it. Spencer Pratt, I have to give him his credit. God knows we need him to win LA, no matter where you live at in the world. James Tellerico is nuttier than nuts, and we're going to talk about him today. What a terrible candidate out of this great state of Texas. The graduation season is upon us, and people are nuttier than ever before. And it ain't just black people. It's a whole bunch of nut jobs. Stephen A. Smith has something to say to Kevin Hart about the Mount Rushmore comment. We're going to talk about that. Damon Dash, what an idiot. This fool still think black people can't read because of Thomas Jefferson. You can't make this stuff up. Before we get to any of that, and I hope this next person end up spending the rest of his life in jail, decided he was going to threaten to kill Erika Kirk and blow up a Turning Point event. We're going to talk about that on the Officer Tatum Show.
I want everybody in this room to have that same spirit, that same identity carried in your life.
Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose.
And we don't do this just to get a pat on the back. We do it because we came here to win.
And it starts with you understanding that God has a purpose for you.
This is the time to be more bold than ever before.
We're all Americans at the end of the day, and we should love one another. We should be focused on what's right for our country. Welcome back. I want to give a special shout out to all the members. If you're a member of the Tatum membership apparatus, I want to give you a quick shout out. Deputy Chief specifically, I want to say thank you. That's the highest tier. But if you're not a member, you can join from being a rookie all the way up to a deputy chief. And I appreciate and love all of y'all. Y'all you're like your kids. You love all your kids the same, no matter who they are. And I love you and appreciate all of you guys who are members. If you're not a member, hit the join button, become a member today. I think our lowest tier is like $2.99 a month, which I think is pretty affordable. And that's only if you want to join. If not, you'll still get unlimited free content from your boy, B. Tatum. All right, let's get to the first story of the day. Erika Kirk's attempted assassination on Erika Kirk's life. When I say attempted, meaning the person has said that they were going to assassinate Erika Kirk and blow up a Turning Point event. And also, while you guys are watching live, just let me know, or when you guys do the super chats, we'll try to get to the super chats in between the stories. So if you give a super chat, I appreciate it. We'll try to give an announcement of the super chat. They'll try to let me know. It's something we're working on doing it live. But let's get to the first story. Erika Kirk, in my opinion, is a great woman. I mean, people are online who ain't never met her, didn't even know Charlie, and they're talking crazy about her. And it's because of a few knuckleheads, knuckle-dragging fools that are out here trying to make her look bad when it's not even true, and it's sad. It's almost like when people say, America is racist, and if you black, you're driving down the street, you're going to get killed for just being black, driving while black. You come live in America, you realize it's the stupidest thing ever, and it's not even true. It's the same thing about these rumors and lies about Erika Kirk. I know her. I talked to her. She's a sweet lady who loves America, who loves God, who has been consistent in her character ever since the time that I met her when she married Charlie Kirk. Charlie loved her. Charlie wasn't an idiot. Charlie had discernment from God. Clearly, that's why he married a good woman. But let's get to the story. Roll the Fox News clip.
Breaking moments ago, a man reportedly accused of threatening to kill Erika Kirk. He is under arrest in Texas, according to local media. Police reportedly saying he posted about a bombing at a Turning Point USA event where Kirk is scheduled to speak next week. TPUSA says the event will go on. Senior correspondent Alicia Cunha live in Denver. Hi, Alicia.
Hi, Martha. And this threat not only targeted Erika Kirk, but Turning Point USA events across the board. News stations in Texas report Jacob Wensky of San Antonio was arrested earlier today and now faces 2 felony counts for making terrorist threats against Erika Kirk and TPUSA's upcoming women's leadership event in that city. According to local reports, San Antonio police were alerted to Wensky after he allegedly commented on social media, quote, "I know exactly where to bomb." Investigators, according to reporting, say he also wrote in an email, quote, "Death to Erika Kirk and every single speaker there. America will live on without those scum of this earth. Every Christian nationalist shall perish in the bombing that will take place at every single Turning Point rally and event. TPUSA responded to the arrest on X, saying the organization takes all threats seriously and is working with law enforcement, adding, quote, "We are grateful to the San Antonio Police Department and the FBI for their rapid response and arrest of the individual making these threats. We refuse to let threats silence us. We look forward to a successful and inspiring gathering." Erika Kirk, her family, and the organization she now runs have been under near constant hostility by critics ever since Charlie was assassinated in September. Charlie Kirk's accused killer, Tyler Robinson, is scheduled for his preliminary hearing in early July. Erika Kirk has been pushing for maximum transparency with the public in that case. As for the San Antonio suspect, his next court appearance is set for August. Martha?
You see that herpy lip, low T having? What a weirdo, bro. If you disagree, like this is a women's, this is a women's conference where women are going to be there talking about probably uplifting and values pertaining to women, and this coward thinks that they're a threat to the world. If you don't like what they say, don't show up at the event. If you think that they're doing something wrong, how about you take your estrogen levels to an event and debate these women instead of talking about you're going to blow something up. The thing that bothers me is these people operate in cowardice. How about you tell me what day and time you're going to be in this spot and let's pull up? Me and you pull up, let's go at it. These people are such cowards that they want to blindly do things to hurt people because they disagree. It's the craziest thing I ever heard. And let me make this point here. The truest point is that you do not see people doing this that are conservative against leftists. When leftists are pushing actual issues that are going to destroy the country, they're pushing socialism, communism, all the hate against conservatives. They want women to have unalive and the unborn at unlimited rates. These people want men and women's sports, men and women's bathrooms. They want to tax people into oblivion. They want to steal your property to give it to a person that's sitting on the couch playing video games, looking at OnlyFans all night. And we should have a problem with them, but we are mindful to say these people are idiots. Let's push our agenda instead of crying and whining about these people all day. I hope he spends the rest of his life in prison. And I'm not going to say nothing else, but we know what you look like. I just want that to be clear. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the next story, which is a prominent story. Brandon, why you talk about, Spencer Pratt so much? Because I want Spencer Pratt to win. The world needs a prosperous L.A. One is so all these people from L.A. can move out of Arizona back to L.A. Y'all can get back over there. And then hopefully you realize when you get over there that you were voting for stupidity. So go over there and support a conservative. Y'all then moved out of conservative state to be in a leftist state to be in a conservative state. Then you want to go back there after conservative build it up. Anyway, let's see what the people are saying about Spencer Pratt, because obviously he's probably one of the most viral people to ever exist in politics outside of President Donald Trump. So let's look at this real quick because I want to see what both sides are saying, which is the perfect website to determine that. Look at the left. Spencer Pratt is running Trump's playbook. How is Spencer Pratt running Trump's playbook? Spencer Pratt isn't hyperbolic. Spencer Pratt is measured in the things he say. Spencer Pratt is clearly saying that he's not running as a Republican. Spencer Pratt hasn't even gotten an endorsement from Donald Trump. How is he running a Democrat playbook? This is what the leftist is using to brainwash your kids and your uncle and cousin them. Look at this. Trump backs Spencer Pratt for Los Angeles. Trump did not back him. Look at this. Spencer Pratt tries to avoid MAGA label. He never supported the MAGA label. He's not MAGA. MAGA has nothing to do with homeless people shooting up drugs in the middle of the street, pooping in front of people's doorsteps. It has nothing to do with people pushing people into traffic and doing all kind of crazy stuff, burning down entire communities. That's the mindset of the left. And this is why you need to know what both sides are talking about. So when you go to that barbecue that your auntie and them at, who love to be on that iPhone that's made through capitalism, crying about capitalism. All right, it said, why Democrats may be headed for a reality check. Spencer Pratt refuses to claim Donald Trump, which you can see the wording is different. There's a difference between him trying to avoid it and him refusing to claim that because he don't need to. Spencer Pratt surges amongst female voters. All of the positive reinforced reality is coming from the conservatives. And the left is just pushing propaganda because they hate Spencer Pratt. Why would you hate a man that's speaking about things that can benefit L.A.? We know because it's propaganda. The left is literally propaganda. Shout out to Ground.News for the reporting. And you can find other stuff. You can get a synopsis. If you don't like to read all the articles, you can do it right here. Boom, 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 boom. And all you have to do is, if you want the subscription, as you can see, I have the unlimited subscription, which, to be honest, that's the only one you need. Quit playing around. Just get the whole thing. You have all the bells and whistles. But you guys can get 40% off if you put in ground.news/Tatum. Just use /Tatum. Ground.news/Tatum, get 40% off unlimited access. All right? Again, if you get a super chat, do the super chat. We'll try to get it in the breaks. I think Nick will let me know if you guys super chat. All right, let's get to a little bit of Spencer Pratt's new interview, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. How can anybody not vote for this guy? Roll a clip of him on Fox News after Gavin Newsom endorsed Karen Bass' sorry ashy elbows. Roll the clip.
It's not shocking because they're alleged criminal partners. Not only did they work together in their negligence in burning down 7,000 houses and 12 people alive, but they're both complicit in laundering $24 billion to actually increase homelessness. Newsom and Karen Bass make up stats. Those are not real numbers. Anybody with eyeballs in the state of California or Los Angeles knows that there has not been a reduction in one homeless person. Actually, there's been an increase of naked drug addict zombies in front of every kid's playground, every kid's school, every coffee shop. So that is, of course, because they both should be in jail together.
Now, I just want real quick before we go to the next thing. Do you live in L.A.? Have you been to L.A.? Is he lying or not? To tell the truth. I don't live in L.A. I go to L.A. and it's weird and disgusting. Why is it like that? That weather is crazy. Everybody would be living in L.A. if it wasn't zombie land. We got a whole bunch of more clips I want to play for you. You have to hear it. Roll it.
So much to spare in L.A., but you focus on the bread and butter issues. You're not talking high level, just brass tacks, clean streets, safety. Your house shouldn't be burned down.
Yeah, absolutely. Why I'm resonating across the country or even outside of the country is because all I focus on is the truth. I'm the look around candidate. I do basics. I don't do national politics. I don't do parties. I just say, look, they're stealing all of our tax money to give it to drug addicts, to have needles and tourniquets, and they're actually even selling the drugs to these addicts to let these people die on our sidewalks. I want to be the compassionate one, get these people mandatory treatment, medical treatment with doctors to help them get off of fentanyl and super meth, and that is what people actually want in LA. As much as everybody wanted to believe the people that have been in charge, my opponents combined are at almost 10 years of their experience, they are failures. And so people want an outsider that's not a politician, that's just saying the facts, the truth. These people have failed us. They've spent all of our tax money to increase problems. And I keep it basic. And again, I never wanted to be the mayor. I just wanted somebody to tell the truth. And by telling the truth, now the people are behind me. And I will continue to speak the truth on behalf of Los Angeles for as far as they want to push me.
One side note here. If we're going to give you financial aid, then we should be able to tell you what to do. That's all I'm saying. If my tax dollar is going to pay for you after shooting up, we should make you get mandatory treatment. Or you don't get nothing, you just die. Run out to Portland. Run somewhere else. But if my tax dollars is going to pay for you to go to the hospital every 5 minutes because you OD'ing, we should be able to make you get treatment to help you. That's compassion. Come on, Spencer. You're going to make me run for office. Go, hit it.
Now, Spencer, you've raised a lot of money, the most money, between April 19th and May 16th, like a week ago. So Spencer has raised $2.72 million. Nithya, who is the progressive, she has raised $400,000, and then Karen Bass, $283,000. Where are you getting the money? There are three of you in the race, and there could be a runoff. One of you has to get 50%, and this polls are not showing that anyone is close to that.
Correct. So, first off, the reason why all that money was raised, that was right after the debate. And they saw me destroy these two terrible politicians for an hour straight. And everybody realized, oh, finally somebody telling the truth. So that's where all the money came from. And a lot of it's from all over the country because people forget over 50,000 people a year leave Los Angeles because it's so terrible.
First time ever. More people leaving than coming.
So these people see that I'm saying why they left. So they're trying to get me elected so they can move back. That's what people are missing. These are actually former Angelenos that got forced out of this city that Mayor Bass has destroyed. And that's why they're donating, because they want me to be mayor so they can move back, because LA is incredible when you don't let drug addicts take over the street and make moms and kids scared to go to parks or the school. This is the truth. And that's, again, it's a look around.
All right, let's get to the next clue. I got a few of them for you, y'all. Y'all got to I want this man to win. He's doing a great job. He's telling the truth. What can I say? Roll it.
I have a feeling God wants me just to win with 51% on June 2nd, and it's over. I believe it's a low turnout election, and that's why, again, I'm on this beautiful couch to remind everybody to get your ballots in today. Don't wait till June 2nd, because we will definitely win if everyone who's as angry as me in Los Angeles just goes and votes, and they don't just share things on social media or tell their friend they're angry. They physically go vote. And they don't have to wait till June 2nd. A lot of people are concerned about elections and you got to vote in person. No, you vote today. You put it in the mailbox, you drop it in the ballot box. We win with the most votes. And a lot of people, again, in California are concerned about, election fraud. We can always outvote cheating, period. And we can do that literally in the next 5 days with just moms alone and animal lovers, because I'm also going to stop the abuse of these dogs on the streets and these alleged no-kill shelters that are killing thousands of dogs. I'm going to stop that as well. So animal lovers and moms, we're beating any cheating that people say could happen.
And I agree with him 100%. I said this 6 years ago, and some of y'all, if you were following me then, you're probably not following me now because people will unfollow me. We got to only vote on election day. I say, do not do that. Mail your stuff in, because the thing is, it's a numbers game, and it's a convenience game, and it's a right now game. What was happening, and I want Californians to not do this, or Los Angeles, or whatever he said. I want y'all to not do this. They wait till election day, then something happens. Same thing happened in Arizona, Angelenos. Same thing in Arizona. We waited till election day, and then the machine don't work. And now they won't put the ballots in, and now this machine don't work. Now 3 machine systems are down. On election, you don't even have a chance. Or what happens is you do it on election day, and then it don't count because the signatures or something is off, and then you don't have time to fix it. So I tell people this, and I said it 6 years ago. I said, do it when you can do it, because procrastination is the devil. I'm a procrastinator. And I got to pray about, Lord, help me not be a procrastinator. But when I get that thing in, go mail it. And then go check and verify that it was accepted. Because if it ain't, you got time to fix it. I think my wife had a problem with her ballot one time. And because we did it early, we were able to go verify and got it checked, and then it ended up counting. But if we'd have waited to the last minute, and then something happens, traffic, you forget, you know, baby daddy doing something crazy, you know what I'm saying? Don't wait to that. Run with it. We got 3 more clips I want you to see. Then we're going to get to Talavero. What is his name? Talarico sorry self. That dude is so gay and weird. And nothing wrong with the gay people. When I say gay, I'm talking about weird gay. Like these fools, the derogatory thing. Not the people who decide that you like a man and a woman. That's you, man. Ain't got nothing to do with me. That's between you and God. But this dude is weird and gay, and I'm going to call him out. But before we get there, Spencer Pratt, roll it.
How are you running?
Yeah, thankfully, it's a nonpartisan race, so I don't have to be either.
What are you?
I'm a registered Republican, but my supporters are all Democrats, because Los Angeles is all Democrats. All the people financing me are Democrats. All the meetings I take every day are Democrats. Democrats are very angry with what happened to Los Angeles. They were fed a bunch of lies by Mayor Bass, who said she was going to literally solve homelessness. She was going to do all these things she didn't do. So all of the people that put her actually in office are now behind me. So it's a nonpartisan race. There's no letter next to either of our names because the mayor is not supposed to represent a party. They're supposed to make sure your moms are safe, your houses don't burn down, and your tax money is going to your infrastructure, not to fund drug addicts. So thankfully, I have Republicans that love me. I have Democrats that love me. I have independents that love me. Even some socialists message me and they're like, hey, don't be so mean to us. We like you too. I'm like, sorry, I don't mess with socialists.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got one here.
Yeah, no comment on that.
All right, let's get to, we got two more. And these are all incredible clips. Like that's why I got them in here, y'all, because they're incredible. It's two more. Make sure you get your butt out there and vote and quit playing around in L.A. because this is the only opportunity, I think, in modern history that Los Angeles has a chance. And you can outvote cheating. I'm telling you. That's why Donald Trump won his last election. You think they didn't try to do shenanigans this time? It was too many people that went out and said, man, forget y'all, I'm voting. I'm getting off the couch today. I'm mailing that thing in. I'm telling my grandma, go mail yours in. Grandma, go pick them up. If you can do collect them and drop them in the box, go collect them. Go get all your people. Make sure they turn it in. All right, next clip.
One of your opponents is Nithya Raman, considered more left than Karen Bass. This is what she said about you.
And then you have this person who is this kind of reality TV star who has these pronouncements that I will solve it. We have a moment when that message can have a lot of purchase, and that is really scary to me because I don't think there is there's the experience to actually deliver on results.
Time out. Let me translate for you. I'm going to translate for you. It's very scary because he's saying the things that people need to get done. You guys want to act like it don't exist. That's why it's scary to you. Y'all, everybody campaign should be the same thing. Karen Bass should be out here saying the same thing that he's saying. We're going to clean up these homeless people. These people out here shooting up. There ain't... Man, I was a cop for 6.5 years in Tucson, and Tucson wasn't nearly as bad as LA. Man, these people don't want housing. They want to blow them drugs, and they want to do what they want to do on the street. They want to have sex. They want to live in them tents. They don't want to take a shower. They don't want any rules. They don't want none of that. They want to get high, bruh. They want to get high. And to be honest, they over there because they just want to get high. They don't want you talking to them. They only want to eat so they can stay alive enough to get high again. They want to shower so they can be clean enough to go get high. They don't want none of that stuff because they need it or they want it or they prioritize it. And that's like 95%. And all of these people are living on tax dollars. Every single person I arrested, and it made me want to lose my salvation when I was a cop. I used to pay at the wazoo for insurance. And I had my kids on there, and so I had one kid, because I only had one kid at the time. But I had my kid on there, I was paying insurance, and if anything happened to me, I had to go to the hospital, I had to get a checkup, I had to pay out of pocket. I was already paying my insurance, I had to pay a deductible, and everybody I arrested had access, which was government-funded insurance. You know how much that cost them? Nothing. It's free to them. But my tax dollars, the state tax that we pay, is going to let these crackheads go to the hospital every other weekend after they overdose. And you know what else they were doing with your tax dollars? Is that all of the resources in policing were to the people that don't pay taxes. We never were in the nice neighborhoods. In the middle-class neighborhoods, we were nowhere to be found. We were at that same apartment complex where all these people on access, all these people on government assistance, and they commit crimes all day long. So your taxpayer dollars paid us to protect and serve them. That's what it was. One more clip, and we're going to get to the next story. Roll it.
So that woman has had, I think, almost 5 years. She's been the chair of the homeless housing department for the last 3 years. The drug addicts that are attacking moms that are naked in front of kids, that is on her and Mayor Bass. This is a woman who fought in her own district for moms that didn't want drug addicts selling drugs, being naked in front of kids in front of the school. She's fighting them on camera, saying there's no difference between 1 foot and 500 feet to have naked drug addict encampments in front of kids. So when these people talk, you're literally listening to a lunatic.
And she's defunding the police, too.
She's she's not even going to be a conversation. We should just focus on Bass. After the debate, the betting apps, she went from 65% to, I think she's at 5%. She's so irrelevant that we should just focus on Bass.
I want to ask.
Okay, last clip, and this is the most important clip of all of them. This is the clip that's going to get him elected. This is the clip that gets Spencer Pratt elected for the mayor position. Roll it.
What will you do if you win to make sure the Palisades are rebuilt?
The Palisades is going to be a long time. I don't like to sugarcoat. This is going to be, for some people it'll be never, because a lot of people were senior citizens. They were underinsured. A lot of people are fighting their insurance companies that aren't paying out what they should be. So that's just a tragic failure on Mayor Bass and, of course, Gavin Newsom State Park. But, of course, I'm going to work with the Palisades and try to build faster. That is not coming back.
But Lee Zeldin is working from the administration to help out. He can do anything he wants, but for a lot of people, they're not coming back because that's 7,000 homes Mayor Bass burned down. Right now, they won't let you sell, right?
You could sell, but there's 6,000 dirt lots. It's not a market. You're buying into. So as much as I love to be positive and I'm going to do best I can as a mayor, the reality is a lot of these people are now, they don't get to come back because of Mayor Bass. And that is, again, part of my anger that I channel into this. And I got into this race to expose the failures that made it so there is no feel-good end of the, happy ending with this. It's a tragedy that out of 7,000 people, maybe 600 houses are in the works. And in over 18 months, maybe 9 houses have been built. So when they say there's record building,
BS.
Not reality.
So I
in 1 week you could be mayor. In 1 week you could be mayor.
God willing.
He won. Take your butt out there, mail that thing in, go drop it off, show up on election day, do all you can, call your cousin them you ain't talked to in 3 months or years. Hey, let's get it. That's what you need to say, let's get it. When you hear somebody call you say, let's get it, you already know what it is. You got both of Spencer Pratt. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out real quick to my team that's doing the screen printing, because they're the coldest team in the industry. I'm telling you, you got to go to TatumStore.com, get you some of this merch. Look at this Rubio shirt they did. That's screen printing. That looked like a digital. That like a digital image print. That's screen printing. Coldest in the game. TatumStore.com. If you want to get this shirt, TatumStore.com. Our team also revamped the entire store website, and it's the best and the coldest that I've ever seen. And shout out to B. Sampson. All right, anyway, TatumStore.com, get your merch. All right, let's get to James Tallarico. I don't know what wussification or what kind of stuff they putting in the water that's raising up these weirdos. Beto O'Rourke was another dumb, ignorant nut job. Now they got another one that's worse. There is no candidate that have ever, even Mamdani is, well, let me not say that. Mamdani is terrible. that fool said, we're going to transfer ownership from a landlord to the tenant. How you going to do that? You're going to transfer. You're right. I'm going to do a transfer. I'm going to go on my like a bank account. I'm going to hit transfer and transfer assets to this person. You're going to make people do that? You got to be stupid. Now, Dumb and Dumber what's his name? Tallarico. Watch this clip. This is a highlight tape of stupidity. And listen. I will disown you if you and my family member in Texas and you vote for this fool. Roll it.
God is non-binary.
Something that you love that's not family or friends.
I love, I'm just saying this because it's on my mind, the trans children to fight climate change. It is now existential that we try to reduce our meat consumption. For me, prophetic voices like Jesus have helped me reckon with my own whiteness. Jesus never talks about abortion. The Bible is silent on abortion. Modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than 2 biological sexes.
I want to scream. This fool said, first of all, he said the prophetic Jesus has said that helped him with his whiteness. Gee, help me. Then that fool gonna say they didn't talk about abortion in the Bible. Yeah, because they wasn't having abortion in the Bible, fool. There wasn't no Planned Parenthood in Jerusalem. What are y'all talking about, dude? They act like they so deep. You ain't deep, bro. You deep. You hell deep. You deep enough to go to hell, but you ain't deep, bro. That nobody was doing that in the Bible. And to cover all of this is called murder. That's one of the 10 commandments. That shall not kill. You're killing somebody. The baby is growing and kill it. Then think about this. Put this in perspective. What if Mary did this? Would there be our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? No, it wouldn't. Because why? Because Mary killed him. All right, and she. All right, I don't want to go. We can go deep into the Bible. I'm trying to get through this segment. All right, let's get to another clip of this weirdo. And this is an ad that they made about him that's so accurate it make me want to cry a little bit. Roll the clip.
Move over, Davy Crockett. There's a new Texas trailblazer in town, and their name is James Tallarico, the man who bragged, "Our office is the first in the history of Texas to add pronouns to our official business cards."
I am running around like a crazy person today,
spreading his white skin wherever he goes.
I am not a perfect Christian.
Prophetic voices like Jesus have helped me reckon with my own whiteness, my own masculinity, and it's a painful process.
Bearing the cross of white skin and unambiguous masculinity.
I was a big nerd in high school, never played sports. I probably shouldn't out myself like this. Sex is a spectrum, and oftentimes it can be very ambiguous.
Time out. I just want to point this out for all my Texans out there. I was born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas. You gotta be a weirdo if you live in Texas, you ain't never played football. You can't tell me you from Texas and somebody gonna vote for you. You ain't never played sports. You ain't Texan. You ain't a Texan, bruh. Where did they get this dude from? They got him from somewhere. They got him from Portland, Oregon, or somewhere. You ain't come from Texas. Talking about you ain't never played sports. All right. Finish the clip.
God is both masculine and feminine and everything in between. God is non-binary.
You going to hell.
From Revelations in the woke James Bible.
I want us all to be aware of that. There are many more than 2 biological sexes. In fact, there are 6.
And on the 7th day, they rested. But not James Tallarico. He built an ark big enough for all creatures.
To be able to write legislation that benefits not just the people, but also our animal friends.
Just like the Supreme Court said, 1 cow, 1 vote.
Now, existential, that we try to reduce our meat consumption. It's the right thing to do and the moral thing to do.
The 11th commandment, thou shalt not smoke brisket.
I am proud to say that our campaign has officially become a non-meat campaign.
So step aside, Sam Houston. Tallarico's bravery towers over Texas. He's fighting for all 6 genders and tens of thousands of species.
I guess we just have a different moral yardstick.
You know what insults Jesus?
Binary white people who eat barbecue and remember the Alamo?
There's only been one perfect Christian.
And they certainly weren't a carnivorous Caucasian binary Homo sapien, according to the woke Gospel of James.
They're going to call me a radical leftist, un-Texan, un-American.
Yes.
And bar none,
yes.
The weirdest candidate for Senate the Lone Star State has ever seen.
Whoever made that ad have a special place in heaven. Listen, bruh, you'll never win in Texas. You don't eat barbecue and you never play football. You stop. Get him out of there. That fool shouldn't get 1 vote. I saw him at a church. Who church got you? Who got them in his church? He a fake Christian. That fool believe in abortion. You ain't no Christian, fool. Talking about you don't want to eat meat. Man, Jesus never ate meat. You think the apostles, they were fishermen. Remember the miracles? Loaves of bread and fish. They eating carbs and fish. And you talking about you. Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. Come on, there's some more. Hit it.
So they're running a handful of highlights of things you've said in the past, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to respond or clarify. In 2021, in a speech during debate over transgender issues, you said God is non-binary. What did you mean by that?
Well, I think I was being intentionally provocative with that statement. But what it means is that God can't be defined by human categories. The Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Galatians, says that in Christ there is neither male nor female. I'm always going to stand up for Texans who are being picked on by the most powerful, most corrupt politicians in the country. And I'm going to continue doing that in this race and hopefully in the U.S. Senate.
You call it intentionally provocative. Do you regret describing it that way or talking about God that way?
There are some statements that I've made that I certainly regret. There are statements that I've made where I've missed the mark. I'll be the first to admit that. But Ken Paxton is intentionally clipping my cringy comments to distract from his career of corruption. Ken Paxton has a criminal record. I have a legislative record. I've served for 4 terms in the Texas House of Representatives where I brought Democrats.
He lied. Ken Paxton was acquitted. He does not, the charges were dismissed. I mean, he does not have a criminal record. So why are you lying? These people should lose all, they should have to pay a fine. Like half of their campaign money gone if you lie on the other candidate. Roll the clip.
That's an independence together to actually make progress for people. I brought Republican legislators and Democratic legislators together to cut property taxes, to raise teacher pay, to lower the cost of housing and childcare and prescription drugs. I've passed more than 60 bipartisan bills as a legislator. I've also called out the extremes in both parties, on the left and the right. I have called out Ken Paxton for his blatant corruption, but I also called out President Biden for failing to secure our southern border. So,
and I want to get to the border in a second. Let me run one more by you because, again, the president, other Republicans are already bringing it up. Again, in 2021, while debating a bill that restricted transgender student athletes, you said modern science acknowledges 6 biological variations based on chromosomes to argue that sex is a nuanced spectrum, not a strict binary. Do you still believe there are 6 biological sexes?
I know there are 2 sexes, men and women. I also know there's a very small percentage of people who have these chromosomal abnormalities, and I believe they deserve to be treated with dignity and respect.
The other one they keep harping on, and it's perhaps the most curious of all, they say you're a vegan.
I'm not a vegan. I'm an 8th generation Texan. I've been eating barbecue since before Ken Paxton's first indictment. And this campaign basically runs on Texas barbecue. If all they have...
Stop. I can't listen to that dude no more. That fool just said he ran a vegan campaign. You got to be stupid to even compare something to veganism. And you definitely ain't a man if you don't eat barbecue. And you know he just changed it. That fool said it's 6 genders. Like, let me just say this real quick and we can move on. Listen, man, I have nothing against transgender people, man. I don't know what's going on in your heart and your mind. And if you want to transition and all that, but just acknowledge what the truth is. You know, it was a trans comedian just yesterday. I don't know the person's name, but I saw the little jokes and stuff. Funny. The trans comedian is funny. But the person lives in reality. The person is deciding to transition their life and present as a woman, but the person is acknowledging that they're a man and they're just making that decision. Why can't we all just be normal? If you want to be trans, just say, I'm a man, but I feel like something wrong on the inside, so I want to present as a woman. Acknowledge that you're a man, and nobody cares. Quit trying to bully people and trying to convert you into being a woman. You ain't a woman, you got a pee-pee. You ain't a woman, bro. Can you be honest? You got a pee-pee. And then the other thing, you got a JJ. You ain't a man. You just want to present as a man. I respect that. You live in America. You do whatever you want to do. But these people lying about genders and sexes as a man and a woman. What are we saying? Come on, Scott Jennings. I want Scott Jennings to get in on this. Pull Scott Jennings in. Roll it.
And Tallarico being popular among donors in California and New York and Massachusetts is never going to wash off the weirdness of the gender thing, of the meat thing, of the God is non-binary, of the Bible actually, endorses abortion. All of these things, wherever you are on the issues, who talks like that? No Texan that you know actually speaks these things out loud.
None.
Other than Paul, I guess tonight, he's latching on. But no other Texan speaks this way. Paxton, He'll speak like a normal person. He'll have positions that
but
are
if he's
center,
talking about affordability, to Paul's point,
he'll have center.
If he's talking about affordability, to Paul's point, is that something that could be more effective with voters
will talk
that are
about
worried
affordability
about that?
when he talks about cutting taxes, rolling back regulations, and creating jobs and making energy prices low. That's what he'll talk about.
100%. I want to do this clip, but I want to get to the next one because I'm running low on time. Kim Paxton went on the thing, and he on his campaign, he made some jokes about little low T Tallarico and other stuff like that. It was funny. So y'all, maybe we'll put that in later. But I want to get to Damon Dash. I want to get to everything, y'all. Don't cut me short. I'm gonna try to get to as much as we can. Damon Dash, get over here. Get over here. You a grown man, and why are you talking like this? This is why people. I'm black, but I know black people messed up. There's the good ones, like me and others who are sane, but the average black person is crazy. I mean, I would say average. The average celebrity black person is crazy. This man is grown. This man was up here in the community. At one point he made a lot of money. Listen to Damon Dash. Put him up here. Listen to the excuses that are continuously made by people of color. This fool think black. I ain't gonna speak for him. Just know that a lot of black people think like this, and it's crazy. Not all. A lot of these celebrity types that have the financial ability to change things. They're old enough to know better than to say these stupid things, but they still push this garbage. Roll the clip.
The biggest problem with us is our cognitive skills and our reading skills. Okay. If a kid doesn't know how to read by the time he's in the second grade, they build a jail cell. And then when they go to jail, they give them all these drugs. There's so many issues that I'm dealing with. And if you ran for office, you know what it is to pass a law, then you should teach it. Because no one taught you how to run for office, and that's an issue. You know what else is an issue? Most of the school books that we were educated were made by Mossad. Did you know that?
No.
That's the thing that you need to know.
Who is that for people that don't know?
Ghislaine Maxwell's father, remember the one with SP, the father, is a Mossad agent, and his job was to make school books for American children. Do the research. I just think we're too distracted with bullshit. And we need to know the fight and our problems so we can fix them. Why are we so worried about bullshit? Because we can't read. And why? Because we're teaching the old curriculum that Thomas Jefferson implemented for black people to learn how to listen to white people.
Is it Mossad or Thomas Jefferson? I just want to know which excuse you gonna make now. That fool said the reason that we care about books because we don't know how to read. You don't just automatically read because there's a book sitting in front of you. You have to have people teach you how to read. You have to have the willingness to learn how to read. And you have to have the parents that support you to learn how to read. Instead of y'all listening to all this crap on music and basketball and all this stuff, maybe you should spend some time learning how to read. It ain't got nothing to do with the white man. Y'all will blame white people for everything. I swear that Negroes like this think that the white man pushing his back on that girl and getting her pregnant. The white man didn't tell you not to go in that football game without a helmet on. The white man didn't tell you to go over Sinead's house last night when you know you ain't trying to be committed and you don't want no kids. The white man didn't tell you not to sign that birth certificate not show up at the hospital. The white man didn't tell you to do drugs and sell drugs to your own brothers and sisters. The white man didn't go get that AK-47 or that Glock and tell you to spray the hood up. The white man, they living their life out here, walking their dogs in a peaceful world. Y'all doing that. Let them finish.
And we still have the same curriculum now. So we need to know our issues. And regardless to how we feel, unless you get a law passed, it doesn't matter. Did they teach us how to pass laws? No. Why? So I've spent a lot of time with principals, with politicians, congressmen, running up in jails. No press for that. They don't want to ever see me do God's work. But we don't talk about God's work. We talk about the devil's work from 20 years ago when I was a kid. Why don't we talk about what I've done as an adult and how much I pushed the needle in action, not words? That's what I don't understand. That's why the narrative is up. Y'all never talk about God. You only talk about the devil.
You too grown to be this stupid. That fool said, he said all kind of stupid stuff. But they don't teach us how to vote or they teach us how to pass a law. You can go right now to your phone and put, how do a law get passed? And you could Google, ChatGPT. You can even ask your mama. You could go ask your white neighbor. Since y'all think black people don't know how a law passed. All these black people in Congress, and black people don't even know how a law passed. Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, I forget his name now. I think it was Thurgood Marshall. Verify that for me. I think Thurgood Marshall was the first Supreme Court justice that was black. Probably over 100 years ago. What are we talking about? Black people were Republicans, senators, and all this stuff. Like, I think the first black judge was like 18 something. The first slave owner in 1600 something was a black man. He went to court and fought for ownership of his indentured servants and won in court. Black people were going to court since the 1600s. I'm telling you guys, these people are either stupid, evil, or both. Black people have had prominent, functional, they just weren't as much as white people, but they had functional, prominent positions in society since the 1600s. Not every black person was a slave that lived here in the United States of America. Slavery was proliferated in the South, not the North. Indentured servants had more abilities, finances, property, leverage than white people migrating over here after black people were over here. What are we saying? The first female millionaire of any race was a black woman. Madam C.J. Walker, Sarah Bree Love. She was the first female millionaire out of any race in the late 1800s, early 1900s. In the 20s, black people had Tulsa, Oklahoma. They call it Black Wall Street. Everybody talk about it getting torn down. It was rebuilt 5 years later. I mean, come on, man. It's crazy to me that, like, it's an entire segment of black history that's just missing. They go from slavery, jump over all black success, to now these dumb Negroes in the street with their pants sagging, shooting at each other. And they even jump over all the black people that aren't doing that. They go from here. So all the black kids now that grow up only think that black people exist in slavery and Jim Crow and today. Did you know that Harriet Tubman was married to a black man who was free? Harriet Tubman was married to a man who was a free black man, and they lived together. At the time when Harriet Tubman was a slave, she lived with a black man who was free, and she had a job. She worked, but she was still technically owned, and he took portions of her income. But she was married to a man that was a free black man. What was he doing all day? He wasn't a slave. He wasn't owned by a plantation owner. He had opportunity to do what he wanted to do because he was a free black man. Do you know that most black people who were free black people in the South? Most black people who were free were in the South. Black people used to have slaves. Hundreds of black people owned hundreds of black slaves in the South during slavery. Why? And I'm not making it okay. I'm not saying that black people weren't treated poorly. But if you listen to these fools, they act like black people we just had nothing. We were all slaves. That wasn't true. We were all on plantations getting beat. Have you heard of the house Negro? There were black people who lived in a house. They never lived on a plantation. They never were beaten as slaves. Slavery had different segmentations of slavery. And all black people didn't live on a plantation with 100 getting beat all day. All right. I could go on forever. We got graduation madness. Now, this is my next segment. Graduation madness. Okay? And I almost put all black people in there, but I was trying to do black people a favor today. because I don't want the world to think every black person is an idiot. It's just there's a lot of them. Black culture is idiotic. And let me give you an example. Most of the people in this graduation is out of their mind, and it's black people. But I put some more people in there so y'all don't get mad at me. And Brandon, you always talking about black people. That's because 99% of these videos I saw were black people. I had to search deep and wide to find out other people in here acting a fool at graduation. So I got them for you. Don't fret. And then we're gonna talk about, I wanna give a quick synopsis on Stephen A. Smith, and then we're gonna get to post-show clarity. I open it up for everybody that's a member to have access to post-show clarity, so you stay tuned. When we get over there, just hang on. We're gonna get you over to post-show clarity, where I discuss, I just dump, it's like a brain dump. After the show, after politics, I just talk about other things. But let's get to this graduation real quick. So they had to arrest his brother. He didn't get his diploma, so he mad. Next clip. I had to add some others in there.
I'm sorry, we
Hey, pause it. Free Palestine. Why don't you get your degree in Palestine? Okay. Oh, they not giving degree. Oh, you couldn't. Oh, you be hanging from a tree somewhere. Okay, next clip.
Ian Tate.
Take your back there and do that again. I'm translating. Act like you got some sense. Don't you do that again. Don't you do that again. He said, I told you. Have some decorum. All right, now here's a little elementary school graduation. I think it's elementary. That kid little. Maybe middle school or something. They getting little every year. They kids smaller than we were. We were bigger than these kids. But look at this kid whose parents didn't raise him right. And this is what he say about his school. Roll the clip.
My name is Daniel Mattingly, and apparently this school doesn't know better than to give an angry gay kid a microphone.
Time out. At all, but you that young and you gay. What do you mean you gay? But what is gay? You don't even, you have not experienced nothing in life yet, and you identified as a gay kid. What does gay do for you? That mean you speak gay, you look gay, you talk gay, you do gay math. What does that mean? You got gay tennis shoes? You shop at a gay store? What does it mean to be gay? Like these kids just jump on the bandwagon of saying these things. It's crazy to me, but let him finish.
I came to this graduation planning to give a speech about my trauma influencing me as a person. And black, brown, and mixed youth are facing oppression nowadays and being forced to fear their own identities.
Time out. Tell us more, white boy. Tell me more about the black struggle. Y'all gotta stop this. White people, look at me. Stop. We don't need you to have sympathy for us. Black people, there's black people doing very well. It's like I can see myself pulling up to the valet in a nice car and a white person coming up to me trying to tell me how I'm a victim. I'm sorry, black man. They not gonna treat you right. People at the valet, Mr. Tatum, welcome back, man. Good to see you. Hey, good to see you too. People, Mr. Tatum, can I get your autograph? Officer Tatum. But the white people want to tell me, Brandon, I'm sorry that the society has treated you so poorly. Shut the front door. Let this little weirdo finish.
To cheer on and encourage oppressed youth, which makes up the entirety of the school. I was told by Mr. Dawson and Ms. Imes there's a time and a place. My speech is too negative, it's too controversial. This school is built on racism, sexism, and homophobia. I encourage everyone here today to stand up for yourself, even if it makes a scene. This school is ridiculous. You
know, one thing that I want to tell the youth, This stuff sound cute when you're young, but you cannot make, like, you got to think the world is passing you by. The stupider you are. That's cute at your 8th grade graduation. But if you think you're going to be competitive in the world today, you have no chance. You go, let one of my employees come up here and think they're going to give a speech about how it's racist and prejudice up here, and we're going to give them a round of applause. No, we're not. You're losing your job. I want you to know, you what? You are not a good fit in this culture, and it's an at-will state. I'm going to fire your fast. So don't think that this world, you're going to disrespect your boss and think you're going to keep your job. That only happens in middle school. The computers, but by the time, little boy, you're gay, you want to be gay and all that, the computers will be doing your job. But the computers are not gay. The computers don't care, they just work. And all you got to do is drop some oil in there and keep it charged up, and it will work forever. And nobody cares about your non-binary and none of that old crazy stuff and your feelings and none of that. You're going to be obsolete, brother. Somebody teach these little weirdos. Keep being silly and thinking that the world is going to capitulate to you. You will have no career. And you will be in your basement watching television, crying about woe is me, and everybody else is going to be succeeding. I wish they would tell these young people that before they get to college and waste all their money and be in debt. Okay. We got 2 more, 3 more. Let's get it. This is what they do. I said it. You don't have to say it. This is what they do. They turned it on. Stop. Let's get to the next clip. Shania. How did I know her name? Somebody fight name was Shania. Y'all doing all the stereotypes. Let's skip this one. Let's go to the other one. Now, I had to end on a funny note. If you are going to do this, make sure you practice first before you tear your neck up on stage in front of everybody. Roll the clip.
Aaliyah Terry, come on.
It was the do-rag that did it. Why you got a do-rag on? Let me say this real quick for the white people that's watching. The do-rag is meant to be put onto your head to preserve whatever you put in your hair or whatever, so that when you go in public, it's fresh. So that means that you wear the do-rag at night when you sleep to not mess your hairdo up and mess your hair up and keep the moisturizer in it. But then when you wake up out of bed and you leave the house, you take the do-rag off. Like a bonnet, you take that stuff off. It's meant to be taken off so your hair can be good for the public. Why you got a do-rag on during a grad? The do-rag is in preparation for you not to wear the do-rag for graduation. Okay. Let's get to Stephen A. Let's do Stephen A tomorrow. We'll do Stephen A tomorrow. We got to get to the post show. So for all of you guys who are subscribed, do we have any super chats? For all of you guys that were subscribed, let's get to post show clarity. I got a lot to say as I wind down from the turmoil of the news of the day. If you're not joined yet, hit the join button. Come on in here. I'd love to hear from you. Hold the phone.